This is Standing Strong with Waylon Myers, and it starts now. Have you faced bullying, depression, anxiety, crimes, hate, and more? Join Tyler Peters and myself as we give you the opportunity to get real and discuss these things. We stand strong together, and it's time we bring more kindness and courage back into the world as we interview people around the world. Enjoy standing strong, and we hope it makes a difference in your life.
Hello, everyone. I am Waylon Myers, and you are watching the 43rd episode of Standing Strong with Waylon Myers. Joining me is my co-host, Tyler Peters. What's up, Tyler?
Hey Waylon, what's going on? It's always great to be on here with you, my friend.
So is. Do you have an inspirational quote that you want to discuss today, Tyler?
I do. It's called "Life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it" by Charles R. Swindoll.
Awesome. I love that. And now, everyone, this will be the last episode of Standing Strong until the second week of October. Next week, we are taking a break because it is my 30th birthday week, so I wanted to take time away. But now I am gonna play today's guest introduction video. So please enjoy this introduction video.
Armando Rey is a television, film, and live theater actor who is best known for appearing on the Dhar Mann YouTube series Diablo and IWALY. He does a lot of live theater in both English and Spanish. Armando spends a lot of time changing lives of other people. So you see, Armando Rey is an inspirational man. So ladies and gentlemen, my 33rd guest on Standing Strong, Armando Rey.
And now, please welcome Armando Rey.
Hello, guys. How are you?
I am doing okay. How are you?
Yeah, doing great.
Thank you. So great to see you, and great to be here. Great to be here. Thank you so much for the invitation.
Yeah, it's so nice to see you too.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, at this time, can you let people know where they can find you on social media, just in case they want to get connected with you?
Yes, of course. You can find me on Instagram. That's really the platform that I use the most is Instagram under Armando Rey dot. Oh my God. See how bad I am at this?
Yeah, no, you're fine. But yeah, it's
Armando Rey dot ACT.
okay. So anyone who wants to get connected with him on Instagram, that is his link that you can follow him. And at the end of the interview, he will one more time give you the Instagram. But at this time, the first question, Armando, that I have for you. Did bullying or cyberbullying play a factor in your life? And what tips would you give to help someone get through?
Yeah, I know like bullying is definitely a serious issue that a lot of kids face and youth and even adults, because that's something that has become such a like a serious thing, right? That is happening. It's something very real in all ages. For me, you know, in school, just your typical kid stuff, I guess, that you might face. Um, in high school, I have to say, you know, not so much. And not because it didn't exist, not because bullying wasn't existing during that time. It was. It was simply that, you know, the school that I went to, it was pretty rough, you know. So you have to show that persona, like, don't mess with me because I'm going to respond, type of thing, you know. So people seem to know when to leave you alone, or if you were like an easy person to bully. Now, for me, internally, yeah, there were a lot of times when I would be walking down the hall and I would be like, you know, you'd get a little scared just because you knew that at any moment anyone could strike, anybody could say something, anybody could this. But that was inside, yeah, I could feel that way. But through the outside, I had to walk like, don't talk to me, don't mess with me, don't anything like that, you know.
Yeah.
So I really honestly wasn't a victim of bullying in high school, but that was because I had to make sure that people around me knew, don't mess with me.
Yeah.
You know, and that was just something. I mean, it wasn't something that was taught to me. It wasn't like something that I knew. Oh, okay, I have to use this technique. It's just something that naturally happened.
Right, right. I agree with that, Tyler.
Yeah, I completely agree. You know, bullying is wrong, and it's nice to hear you say you stood up to them, because I think that's important. When they know you're standing up against them, a lot of times they will back off, and so that is so true. I'm with you guys. I think it's important that we face those challenges and face them.
Yeah, and I think I mean now to be fair, you know, you always, yeah, like I knew that I could possibly run the risk that if I stood up for myself, if the other person struck back or whatever, you know, that I maybe physically wouldn't be able to defend myself against this person. But for me, the important thing for me was to let the other people know that I was not going to just cross my arms and let them actually away.
I agree with that.
Yeah, completely in agreement. I think that is so important. That's what I love about doing Waylon's show and learning from you, sir. Just some great examples there to live our lives by.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting to hear from other guests that you've had on your show how, you know, people, how they react or what their defense mechanism is. And I mean, there's just so much, and it's not that one's right or the other one's wrong. It's just that it's whatever our body takes over and starts to defend itself at some point, for sure.
Absolutely. 100% agree with that. Now,
Yeah, me as well.
now on to the next question. Confidence is something a lot of people also struggle with. What advice can you give for someone struggling with confidence and their self-worth?
Gosh, now see, now this one is something that I actually do relate to in a personal level.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because even as a kid, there were moments when I didn't feel sure about myself or confident in certain things or whatever. I think for me was once you start taking, when you take that step, that risk of doing something,
Mm-hmm.
and then you start to find out, wow, I could really do this. Like, it's not as bad as I thought. Or, you know, this gives me confidence because I could show people first you got to show yourself,
Mm-hmm.
right, that I could do this, and then people start noticing, and that builds your confidence. I think is finding out what you're good at. What is it that you're good at? What is your passion? And build from there. And start there and start building your confidence from there, because from there everything else is going to fall in place.
Right. 100% agree with that.
Yeah, you're so correct. I think that's once again some valued information.
And now, you're welcome. Okay, the next question I would like to ask you. What has been the biggest influences or motivators of your career?
Of my career. Wow. Well, you know, I started acting at a very young age, in theater and stuff like that. So in different aspects of my life, there have been people that have come across my career that have given me that push to the next level. And so it varies depending on what point of my career we're talking about. But I do want to tell you that once I was in a professional level, somebody that really taught me valuable lessons. I was doing a show called The Night of the Iguana, and Ephraim Zimbalist Jr. was one of the lead actors, along with his daughter, Stephanie Zimbalist. And, you know, that man inspired me so much that I learned so much discipline from him. Because there was this man, you know, he was older in age already. There was this man that he would show up to rehearsal every single day prepared. Lines down, memorized, blocking, you know, never complaining, and delivered, went through the whole rehearsal process, then would go home at the end of the day to just start the whole thing over the next day. And then we did a little tour. We were in Canada. And you know what? A lot of time, I think like any other job, right? Like you're like, oh, I want to do this today, or I'm tired, or whatever, you know? And same thing, I mean, I love my work. I love what I do. But sometimes you're like, oh, I have rehearsal, you know, or whatever.
Yeah.
Listen, let me tell you, I would show up at rehearsal and I would be tired from the day before that we had rehearsal, whatever. And here I would see Ephraim show up, older man, people helping him to get there and everything. And all that energy that he had, once he stepped on that stage, it was like magic. And that he taught me a very important lesson in my career, which was discipline and being prepared.
Love it.
Time, ready to go. Not having anybody to find them. Like, where's Ephraim? You know, can we bring the actor? I mean, he was ready to go on his mark every single time, not once complaining about how tired he was, because our rehearsal process was so, I mean, it was very strict. It was very much. So I always thank him for that.
Awesome. That's a good advice that he gave you. Tyler, what do you have to say?
Oh, I think that is great advice, and this is just so inspiring, so thank you for that.
Thank you, and thank you to Ephraim. May he rest in peace, you know, for teaching me all those lessons while we work together. I carry them everywhere I go when I'm working.
Awesome. Now, what were some hardships you encountered in your life, and how did you overcome them?
Well, I think for me, one of the hardships that I had, and was, you know, I've been on my own since a very young age, and my parents at the time moved back to Mexico.
Yeah.
Because they needed to take care of my grandmother. And I'm not. This is. I love my parents so much, and I'm glad that they did that, because my grandma at the time, she needed them more than I needed them. I mean, of course I needed them, but I could survive, and I did. I mean, I'm here. But for her, she needed them there because she was alone. So it's not a complaint. It's not anything like that. But for me, it was very hard because I was still in high school. I was still in high school, and my parents were like, "Okay, Armando, this is what's happening. We're gonna go to Mexico because your grandma is she's very ill now, and she can't be alone. So you can come with us and finish school over there, or you can stay."
Yeah.
My response was, "Wait, I've never lived in Mexico. I mean, I've been going there since I was a kid because I would go stay with my grandmother, but I've never lived there. I've never gone to school there. So to me it was like, well, no, I'm staying here, and I I was already a senior in high school, and I want to graduate with my friends." And so I stayed. And I was going to school. I was working. I was renting a room because then I had to pay rent, and it was tough. It was very, very tough not to have that guidance anymore. I was on my own, and so my parents, by this point, had taught me what's right, what's wrong. Whatever decision you make now, you're gonna have to live with this decision. And
absolutely.
And it was difficult. But thankfully, I chose the correct way. You know? And it prepared me for the rest of my life, because it taught me that not to rely on anyone but myself. And I can't rely on other people to make things happen for me. I have to make them happen. And that's exactly what I did. So it was one of those, what do they say, like sink or swim type of situation.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, no, I gotta swim because there's a lot that I want to do and accomplish. So I definitely faced a lot of hard moments, but they were hard moments in disguise that were preparing me for the rest of my life. And thank God for that. And thank my parents for that. I really thank them for that.
Awesome. Yeah. It's everything that your parents can give you. It's a blessing in the eyes of God. So, Tyler, what would you have to say?
I think it is a blessing, man. Our family, our parents are our greatest influencers. I mean, they're so positive, and it's so heartwarming to hear that story of real life and everything. So thank you for sharing that. And I just think it's so great to have you on here and sharing just some kind sentiments. So I appreciate it.
Thank you. It's my pleasure, and I appreciate you guys and all your guests that you've had. And I think what you're doing is such a beautiful thing, because it gives people all around the world that are watching this, make them think like, hey, I'm not the only one that's going through this, or I'm going through this, or even motivates them to talk to someone about what they're going through. And I think this is what we need. This is what we need in this world right now, is talk. Express what you're feeling.
Absolutely, 100%. Now, unfortunately, anxiety and even depression is something most people encounter in their life. How do you, or did you overcome it?
Well, it's definitely something that I have been through, with depression, anxiety, like I mentioned earlier, different moments of my life. Also the feeling of, am I worth anything? There's of course there's all those emotions and that come with being depressed. For me, I think the way that I have overcome the moments that I've gotten depressed is not allowing. As far as there are moments when you don't want to get up from your couch, or you don't want to talk to anyone, there's got to be something in here that tells me, no, get up, talk to someone, call someone, do something, And I think if you listen to that voice, that's going to bring you to the next step of, okay, you know what? I called my sister, I called my mom, I called my brother, I called my best friend. And that's a step toward coming out of it, I think, but it's finding that strength within you that when you're going through something like that, that you're not going to let it bring you down as much as hard as it is to not let it happen, right?
Yeah.
But finding that strength, that wherever that strength is finding it and saying, no, I'm going to go out for a walk. No, I'm going to go do the treadmill at the gym. I'm going to even 15 minutes, whatever, or just walk around the block or something. But that makes all the difference in the world, because when you're done with that, you're like, oh my God.
Absolutely.
That really changed something.
Yeah, I agree. Tyler?
Yeah, I think it's very important to do something. Like you said, it does. I mean, I've even done that myself, and I'm like, man, I've actually accomplished at least a little something. It just gives you such a sense of accomplishment. So that's so true, and we don't realize that. I think we often forget about just the simple things that really can magnify the positivity in our day.
Right.
Yeah, it does, and and with all this also, you have to go deep inside of you and search inside of you and see what's causing this, because you're going to need that answer at some point. Why am I feeling this way? Like, what's causing me to feel this way? And is there anything that I can do to change that? And if it means that then I'm going to need help, like maybe counseling or whatever, that's fine too. It's okay. It's okay, whatever it is, but let's find out where it's coming from, But meanwhile, while you're finding out, stay active, go do something, go, you know what I'm saying? While you discover or get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Agree. Yep. Now, have you been personally affected by crime? And if so, what advice can you give to move on from it?
Well, yes, I have been affected by crime, violence. There were times in my childhood where I grew up in rough neighborhoods, and so I was faced with stuff like that. Personally, yes. Also, I can't go too deep into that just because I want to respect that the people in my family that were involved with situations of that. But it's, again, I feel like a lot of times we want to live in a fantasy world where everything is perfect, and it's not. And I tell you that because of the things that I saw. I mean, one quick story. I remember as a kid living in downtown LA, where hearing gunshots was just the norm. I remember seeing a man outside my door that had been shot and he was bleeding to death. I mean, these are things that I saw. So, when people want to paint a perfect world, you can't not think about the stuff that is also really happening. So for me, I grew up with that reality, but again, that was my reality. That doesn't mean it's everybody else's reality, because not everyone goes through that experience, right?
Right. Yeah.
But for me, going through that is accepting that that is happening and that it happened and what I saw and what's happened in my family. You know, I accept all that has happened.
Yeah.
Once I accept it, I can move on. I can
Absolutely.
move on to, just move on with life.
Right. Moving on from life and doing what you love to do without anyone's negativity comment about it. So, Tyler, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, I think it's just we got to stop with all the negativity. It's all about trying to overcome that, and what you said is right on point. So I'm just in agreement with you all. I think it's a powerful thing.
Right? Absolutely. Now, Armando, what motivates you to stand strong and be true to yourself?
You know, what motivates me is seeing the things that I have accomplished. Coming from a childhood where if I would say, oh yeah, I want to be an actor,
Yeah.
it was like, for the people around me, it was like, yeah, right, okay, whatever, because it wasn't something that, I mean, we didn't know actors, we didn't know, you know what I'm saying? We were just, I remember watching novelas with my parents and stuff like that, and just seeing what I have accomplished. I think for me, one of the awakenings that I was like, whoa, I'm really like bringing this to the next level is when I was cast in a project with two of the, like classic actors from Mexico, which were Susana Dos Amantes and Gustavo Rojo, that I had seen on screen for so many years as a kid. And when I was on a table to do the table read, which is where you read the script, here I'm like sitting right next to them. I was like, wow, you can really accomplish whatever you want.
Right.
That was for me a big moment. And of course, for that, Blanca Valdez, she's the casting director that cast me in this, has been such an influential person also in my career.
Awesome.
Yeah, and going back to like being true to yourself and all that, I do want to say another thing that I always think about is, listen, we are this is our life right now. I, Armando Rey Ramirez, am not going to live my life to please other people. This is my life right now. This is the only shot I get. So I have to be true to myself. I have to be true to who I am. And you know what? The people that love you will be with you. And that people that don't agree with you or they're not going to be with you. And it's okay.
Absolutely.
Whether it's relatives, whether it's friends, whether whoever it is, the people that love you will be next to you. And if they don't have to be.
Right.
And it's okay. But you know what? Live your life. Live your truth. Because nobody else is going to live it for you.
100% amen. I agree. Tyler, you have anything you would like to add?
Yeah, the only thing I would add is, like you all were saying, it's about a support system. That's what's so, valuable. I'll just go back to that word. You have to have people that you're going to surround yourself with that are going to give you that confidence and that support. I'll just go back to those words. I'm just learning something new all the time in such a beautiful way, just being a co-host. So that's all I'm going to add to it. It's just great stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. 100% agree with you, Tyler. Now, Armando, if you could change one major thing in this world, what would it be and why?
Oh,
I know
so
there's a lot.
it's yeah, like if I could get rid of hate, that would be the first thing to go, because I think
Right.
get rid of that, everything else will fall into place. And what a beautiful, beautiful world this will be if there was no hate. I like sometimes I just don't get it. I don't understand why
Yeah.
people hate. Like I don't know. I'm not an expert in this. I'm just a regular guy, just like you guys, just like people watching right now. I don't know. I don't have the answers. So I'm just speaking to you like what I'm really thinking. And it's like that whole hate. Yes, if I could change something, it would be that immediately.
I agree with that 100%. The less hate we have in this world, the better off everyone will be. Tyler, what would you like to add to this?
Yeah, definitely against all the hate. I think if we just love each other, it's amazing what we all can accomplish as a society. So I think, once again, that's very poetic, and we need more of it. So, speaking of support, I'm supportive of that vision.
Yeah, me too. That was an awesome answer, Armando.
Oh, thank
Now,
you.
you're welcome. Now, the next question. Who influenced you to never give up in life and to be your best self?
Definitely my mother, all the way, all the
Yeah,
way. Uh, I feel like I've been blessed with wonderful parents, both my father and my mother. I love them both so very much. But definitely my mother, she is such a warrior, like she has been through so much, but yet she's always standing up and moving forward. So whenever she would see that I was feeling down for this reason, for that reason, for whatever, she would put me on check. And she's a strong woman, and she's got a very colorful vocabulary. Let's just put it that way, And
yeah,
so, but her words were so truth, and to this day, her words are so truth that if I'm ever feeling doubt about myself, about this or about that, I know she is the person that I can call, because I know she's going to put me on check. And I
yeah,
know she's going to be like, you know what? I don't want to hear it in that sense. You need to, figure out how you can do this, or whatever. But, and she's right. And so she's always um, been excited for me, for the things that I accomplish. I have to say, and not because I'm talking about, or I'm talking bad about my father or my siblings or anything, but my mother was the one that always supported me in my dream of being an actor since I was a little kid. When
awesome.
when people would laugh at me, because I mean, I get it, like, yeah, right, you're gonna be an actor. But
Yeah,
my mom, she was always like, you can do it, you can do it, and it was always so supportive about it.
I love that. Yeah, there's a lot of things that people try to say, oh, you will never accomplish this. You should just give up. Don't, because whatever you can achieve, you will accomplish in your life. So,
Exactly. I so agree with you 150%.
thank you. Tyler, do you have anything to add?
I'm just gonna, say what you guys were saying. I just wholeheartedly concur. I think it's important. You talked about your mother, and just to have that person in your life that's holds you together. Really, they're the glue, and I think that is just magnificent. So, thank you again to Waylon and yourself. That's great.
Thank you. Now, Amanda, what piece of advice would you give someone to always follow their goals and dreams?
Don't give up, man. Don't give up. You know, it may seem very tough, and it is, but you can accomplish it. Okay, there's room for everyone in whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. Remember, no one is better than anyone else. No one is better than you. No one is better than no one. You are your own person. What you want to accomplish, find out, figure out how to accomplish. Take the roads, make the contacts, talk to people, get to the next step. Slowly but surely, and you will get there. Just do not give up on what your dream is. Whatever your dream is, you can accomplish it. You know, a lot of times I get messages of people wanting to be actors, or you know, but they're in a part of the world where the possibility of that, they say there's no opportunities like that. Go find your opportunities. Don't get stuck anywhere. Go find them wherever in the world it is. Go find your opportunities. If where you live, the opportunity is not there, then go wherever it is. Figure it out. Figure it out.
I love that. I agree too. Figure it out, everyone, because whatever you believe, you will achieve, and you will be on your way to success. Tyler, would you have anything you would like to add to this?
It would just be, hey, you know, if you put your mind to something, you will be successful. And that's the only thing, because you guys covered it. I'm just going to add that one simple thought.
Yep.
But that's, I mean, even that simple thought, like you say, it's I mean, it's so true in every aspect of it, you know, like very simple words, like, yeah, Waylon and I, we got into it more and stuff, but you know, a lot of times just a little simple phrase tells you so much, and it speaks so much truth, and that's all you need.
Right.
That's so right.
Yep, absolutely. All right, at this time, I am gonna pull it over to Tyler Peter so then he can have his questions answered by you.
Yes, sir. I was going to ask you lessons you learned from working on Dhar Mann. I think that's what's interesting to all of us, is share that experience.
Wow, yeah. Well, you know, working with Dhar Mann, it has just been such a beautiful experience. You know, all my colleagues, my co-workers, you know, the other actors and stuff, we've just, you know, people use the hashtag Dhar Mann fam, and that's really what it's become. Whenever you go, you know, whenever we go to the studio, there's so much filming going on now that you never know who you're gonna run into, and it's so great because, you know, sometimes you're walking in the hall and then you'll see one of your fellow actors that you haven't seen in a while. It was like, oh my God, how are you? You know, and it's like, oh, which episode are you working on? This episode? Oh, okay, great. You know, it's just become such a beautiful experience. And I think that all comes from the message that we're giving out, you know, and in a time where this world needs positive images, positive thoughts, or, you know, and it's like, to be working on a project that's what we're doing is just amazing. And to be recognized for that work, I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I think it's wonderful. Thank you for the response. And another question, how would you describe your acting style? I think that's fascinating to learn how you guys go about that profession, the acting style.
The acting style?
Yes. Yeah, how would you describe it? I'm sorry. Let me go back.
Yeah, no, that's, I mean, yeah. I mean, for me, I like to, you know, dig deep inside for whatever the character is. You know, just that comes from the training that I've had as an actor. and connect things to the character of what the character wants, what the character needs, what the character is after, and tap into different things of my own that will give that emotion. Now, it's not that I'm using myself, right?
Correct.
But substituting some of the emotions with the emotions that the character has.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. And this is kind of non-acting related. Do you have a favorite hobby by chance?
Um, Gosh, I mean, well, I don't know if this is a hobby or not, but I just adopted two kittens. Actually, I adopted them or rescued them on one of the Dhar Mann shoots that we had because Noel, the sound guy, he had rescued these kittens from his house because a cat had snuck into his home. And so he was gonna, he couldn't keep the kittens. So I felt really bad. And I was like, well, you know what? I'll take one. I'll rescue one. He brought two. So now I have two kittens, which are now cats. And I mean, I don't know if that's a hobby, but they sure have kept me busy. Let me tell you that much.
That's good.
Yeah, no, it works. No, that is a hobby. That's a chore. People don't realize that's a work for sure. No, I was just fascinated by that. If you had it, other hobbies and stuff, that was a great answer, great response. Another one. If acting didn't work out, though, what's another job description that you think you would fit? I mean, if by chance it didn't, just a what if kind of question.
Well, back when I was younger, because I'm still young.
Yes, you are.
Yes, you're. Anyone who is a velvet of your age, you will always be young, no matter what.
Thank you. No, but there was a time when, so I worked in special education for many years, and I worked at a high school, and then I worked in a post-secondary program, which was more of an adult program, and that was my passion. Acting and special education were both my passions, and it got to a point where I needed to choose one, just because it got to be very difficult, doing shows, rehearsals during the day, things like that. But definitely there was a time where it was either going to be a special education teacher or an actor. So those were my two passions. Now, yes, I am an actor, and I can make a living being an actor. Thank God, and thank myself for the hard work that I've put in. But I do have another career as well as an interpreter, and that was another thing that I needed to make happen for me, was have a career that I was passionate about that would give me flexibility. So, I went to school to be an interpreter, and now I work as an interpreter. I work for myself. But what I love about this is that I interpret for parents and teachers in special education. So I'm still connected, and I love it.
No, that is awesome. I think that is so great how you were, that connection you just talked about, sharing between the parents and the kids and the educational system. Another question, too, regarding films. What would be your choice for viewers, that maybe a movie that would be your personal favorite that maybe they hadn't watched, maybe they had? I mean, regarding films, what's your preference if there was a favorite movie?
Okay, so right now, just from that, the first movie that came to my mind was Pan's Labyrinth.
Okay.
And it's kind of an old movie now, but it's a hard movie. It's a hard movie, but I think what always stuck with me when I saw this movie, I mean, I don't know if you guys have seen it. I don't want to give it away. But what stuck with me in this movie is the little girl that comes out, that she never lost hope. And that, to me, like, everything can happen in the movie, you know, good things, bad things, whatever, anything. But at the very end, this little girl never lost hope. And to me, that was like the most beautiful message from this like hardcore movie.
Wow, that's so powerful, and thank you for that. Just wanted to ask some of those questions too, because I think we're all fascinated with, you know, favorite films even actors have, what they point toward. And another question would be, name a crucial trait, one must have to be successful. Is there a certain trait to be successful that you find in yourself and everything?
Perseverance, like be
yeah, just yeah, exactly. Yeah, just any kind of trait that'll make one successful. Pretty much is the question.
yeah, I mean, like, be driven.
Mhm.
Be driven. I mean, you know, and have that focus. Be focused. Be driven. I think those are the things you need to really be successful. Stay in your focus.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that is important. And another question, can you elaborate on a common myth or misconception concerning the acting profession at all?
A myth.
Yeah, or a misconception just about the acting profession. Maybe people don't realize if they're wanting to get into it.
I think, you know, there's at least in my experience, you know, like, I feel like acting, you know, it's one of those careers that doesn't really have specific rules, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you can go study to be an actor all your life, right?
Correct.
But then comes somebody who's never taken an acting class before, and production falls in love with that person and hires that person. You know what I'm saying? So there are, in that sense, I feel like there's no rules. You know, it's a fair game. Anybody can get the part.
Yeah, right. I totally understand. And I want to thank you for your time and answering those questions. I'm going to throw it back to Waylon, but I appreciate those responses. I mean, we always learn so much. So I want to show my gratitude to you for that.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right, Armando, I want to touch base with you. What was it like, or how is it like working with Giovanna Vidal and Dhar Mann?
Giovanna Vidal. You know, I love Giovanna so much. We've become such good friends. She's just an amazing person, a great heart. I have yet to read her book that she just came out with.
Yeah.
You know, we met on set, you know, when at Dhar Mann, that's how we met the first time. And we just hit it off. And we've just become such good friends, such an amazing person to work with. She is so professional, so prepared, works on her emotions to wherever our scenes are taking us. We can have like very heavy, dramatic scenes together. And at the same time, we can be very silly with the scenes that they give us. And I love that flexibility from her. I feel safe working with her. I feel safe trying out new things with her because I know there's going to be no judgment. And we give each other that, so where we can play and discover and everything. She's just such an amazing person, such an amazing friend. Her husband, such an amazing person too. Both of them have become such good friends of mine. I love them.
Awesome. Now, which episode was your favorite working with her on? Like, one of mine was the Christmas episode you guys did when you wanted to go to work instead of being home with your family. Yeah. What has been your favorite episode you did with her?
Definitely the cupcake episode.
That one was a good one too.
absolutely the cupcake episode, just because, gosh, it was, and Angelique, I love that little girl who plays our daughter.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Such a professional actress, and I just, I loved working in that episode with both of them, and the whole cast and crew, of course.
Yeah,
and it was long hours, and the level of professionalism in that room was just incredible. And I love that. I love that episode so much because, as you know, I play such a jerk. Sorry for the word, but and I'm not like that at all in real life. And so, when Giovanna and Angelique, well, the characters that they were playing, put me in my place. I'm like, it's like, yes, this guy deserves that. So, it was just great. I had a lot of fun working in that episode, and I think it's been my favorite so far.
Awesome. Now, speaking of the late great Carla Juni, what was your favorite memory of his?
Wow, Carl. He was just such an amazing man. So great working with him. Such good heart and so professional. Giovanna, Carl, we, and of course, our other cast members that were there from the with Dhar Mann. Carl was just such a great person to work with. Gosh, memories. I mean, just so many memories. Great memories of the work that we did together, and very missed. We miss him so much.
Yeah, he was an amazing actor. And a couple years ago, you guys did a Christmas special with him, and it was nice versus naughty and nice. You was on, I think you was on Team Naughty, were you? Or were you on Team Nice?
I think it was Team Naughty because I was there with Mare.
yeah, and Giovanna wanted to pie you in the face. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was, sorry, I get a little emotional. That was so much fun working in that episode, with all our great cast members and everything. Of course, not everyone was there, but that was the last time that I saw Carl.
Yeah, God bless him. He was an amazing actor.
He was.
Yeah. Now, I hope my show gave you the courage and platform to make it completely open to chat about the issues we deal with every day. Thank you for your time. And what was your experience like being on this show?
Thank you guys so much. I think, like I said earlier, thank you for having the space for us to come on and talk and be a voice for other people too, and to let them know that they have a voice. This has really been a beautiful experience. I've seen your show, and you guys, I love it because you guys, you're so real, and that's what we need. We just want to be real. We want people that are real, where we can talk and communicate, and this platform that you have created is just so awesome. And thank you so much for this opportunity to be here, talk to you guys, and get to know you. And I definitely hope it's not the last time.
Thank you. That means a lot. I hope we can have you back on another episode down the road. These are not perfect. These are hard to book the gas, to make sure the microphone, the headset is on point. Sometimes audio will mess up, We just have to go with it and just reach for the best outcome with these episodes. Tyler, what would you like to add to Armando?
It's just been an honor, sir. Thank you for coming on. Waylon has really blessed my life. And once again, yeah, audio sometimes does not always work, but what's important though is you can turn that into a positive. And so it's just, I've enjoyed hearing you guys go back and forth talking about how we can do better, the positivity, and just getting your response from all our questions. It's just been another inspiring episode. So I want to thank you both. It's been a great experience.
Thank you, Tyler.
Oh, you're very welcome.
It was such a huge honor to finally have you on and as my 43rd guest.
Standing strong.
Yeah. What's next for Armando Rey?
Well, I just shot another episode for Dhar Mann, so hopefully that'll be coming out pretty soon. And I am doing a show right now, a live stage show called El Bracero. And we're just finishing up our Southern California tour.
Nice. Awesome. Congratulations on that and all the best. Before we wrap up this interview, just one more time, where can people find you on Instagram?
I am on Instagram, ArmandoRey.act.
All right, everyone. You heard him. If you want to get connected with him, feel free to do so, and I'm sure he will appreciate it. Until the next episode, everyone, we hope you'll have an awesome night, and remember, we stand strong together. God bless each and every one of you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.